Hey guys, it's Josh from Team Tina Gates. I'm going to be bringing you guys my Orcust deck profile. I've had a lot of success with this variant. I've tested it quite a bit online, and I think this might be the variant I'm going to be rolling with from now on. Yeah, this is a 60 card variant. I think this kind of allows you to do more plays, more bang for your buck, I guess, and make use of all the Orcus engines essentially without having to worry about the bricks that come with like the Machina cards. So yeah, like I said, I've played each of the variants with played a Machina Focus variant that was like 40. I've also played a just like this sort of normal scrap variant, which is also been 40, and I've also played just like a pure variant, which was also 40. But I think this 60 card variant might be like the way to go in terms of the way to play the deck. I've had the most success for it. I mean, everybody does what they're comfortable with, and I just want to share kind of what I've been rolling with, and I've had quite a bit of success with it. So, first things first, I'm just gonna get into the Orcus cards. You're in 3 Gearsu. It's kind of self-explanatory. That's your in archetype starter. We run 2 Nightmares, just 2 Nightmares. I feel like the third never comes up, and I've never really found myself wanting the third, so I think two's fine. 2 Skeleton, just because we're running Gizmek. Obviously, I think two is kind of like a standard or just normal, because you don't want to banish the one off of Gizmek, and also run the one Brass Bombard. The only reason why I run Brass Bombard is just because like Needle Fiber can actually help you like get to a Galatea just because of this card. Um, like I said, worst case scenario, it's you can make a Galatea with it, or if you have any like your Orcus cards, obviously making a Galatea and then being able to banish this and kind of continue with your plays. It's always nice. Um, 2 World Wine, once again, just like normal stuff here, and last but not least, the honorary Orcus card that gives back. But yeah, that's kind of like the engine here for Orcus part of the deck, I guess, for monsters. Next, we're running the best normal summon in the deck. I mean, Scrap Recycler literally gets you everything and then some, and in conjunction with the Golem, which I think, can be a brick, but I think there's multiple ways to just get this out of your hand, which is kind of like the main thing you want to do. Like, there's plenty of ways to get it out of your hand. So that's the scrap part. Next, we have the, Dark Brothers, Armageddon Knight, Dark Grepher. These guys are self-explanatory. Armageddon Knight gets you there, Dark Grepher gets you there. There are times where Grepher's better because you can special him and then discard one. You get 2 ditches off of one, and there's times where Armageddon Knight's obviously better. But yeah, we run both of them. Next we run 1, 2, and 3 Jet Synchron and the 1 O-Lion. I run 3 Jet Synchron just because it can be an extender and a starter in this variant, and you're running 60 cards, so might as well run max out on it. Jet Synchron allows you to pitch things from hand, get things to grave you want to get to grave. The O-Lion just grant you the token off the scrap dump, and there are times where it's better to dump Jet Synchron off a scrap recycler, and times where it's better to dump O-Lion off a scrap recycler. It's just kind of based off like what you kind of draw in your hand, but I think maxing out on 3 of these and one of this is so far been working fairly well for me and allowed me to kind of extend further and have a bigger board presence. Next we run one of each of the good dangers, just kind of extenders here, draw power. You don't really care what gets sent to grave in this deck, so dangers are always good and easy summons. Other thing, we're running the Machina package. Way I run the Machina package, we got let's see, we got 2 Fortress, 1 Megaform, the Radiator, Citadel, and the Metal Cruncher. Which given these ratios, reason why I play 2 Fortress is because Fortress can actually use itself as material for its summon, so it's like you just need at least another level of a machine to get rid of this. So that's always nice, and having I guess the mandatory cards that if you want to run the Machina package is like if you're running 4, it would literally just be these 3 right here. These are like the main 3 you absolutely have to run if you're doing Machina, but the other 2 just kind of come in handy. Like Citadel makes your board that much more crazier because you have that quick effect pop to just destroy anything that's 3k or less, which is like very strong. And then, you know, Megaform actually works pretty nice with Fortress, because, you know, when Fortress is sent to the grave at any point, you can banish the Fortress to like summon the Megaform from your graveyard. So there's like still utility there that you can like do, and it works fairly well. But yeah, I like it. I think that if you're gonna run the Machina package, you might as well, you know, use these cards. I think these are like the best out of the Machina cards, along with like redeployment and whatnot. You know, I just run the one Dragon Buster Destruction Sword because, you know, you can do the Union Carrier lock, so works. And then as for hand traps, I run 8 hand traps, and I mean, honestly, these 8 hand traps can be literally any 8 that you would want to run. Personally, I'm just running these, and honestly, like with the Numeron stuff, you could honestly replace like an Effect Veiler for an extra Ghost Ogre, but I just find like these 8 can be impactful, and I probably wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, basically it can be like whatever 8 hand traps you want to run in the deck, but I find that these 8 have been solid for me. Or, I mean, you can always mess around with the ratios, but there are times where you want to see hand traps, and I think running the 8 and the 60 cards, you have a good chance of like drawing them, but you don't like miss them when you don't see them a lot of times. So next we're running the 3 Call by the Grave, because, you know, one of the plays to go through, the deck can be pretty weak at times, which is why we're running so many extenders. Just being able to call by, get rid of like the Ash and stuff, and honestly, like there are times where like you can use this offensively against your opponent and defensively. So, you know, it's always a great card. It has versatility, and not only that it can, you know, be used offensively and defensively, you can also, you know, set it, pop it for like your Scrap Wyvern plays. So and then also I'm also running 2 tuning. I was running 3 tuning, but I decided to cut 1 for the O-Lion, because I think that O-Lion there are times where O-Lion's a lot better than Jet Synchron Ascend, because like sometimes you don't want to actually pitch some cards in your hand, but even though you don't typically mind, I think tuning at 2 is beneficial, because the mill is not to be underestimated in this deck, because like there are times you just mill like a Nightmare, you mill a Gizmek, but I think that 2 tuning, I mean, you could take out the one of the O-Line, take out the O-Line and put in a 3rd tuning. It's just personal preference at that point. I think 2's been working fine for me. Next, on like the Machina side of things, you run the 3 redeployment. The redeployment triggers your dangers. It gets stuff in grave. You can do a lot with it. Triggers your O-Lion. Times where you can, like, if you already open up a Radiator, you can search like a Megaform and a Fortress, and like still pop off. Like you can use Radiator, ditch the Megaform, and, you know, do like the standard play to search out Scrap Recycler, or you can just use this as kind of like an extender, or like just to generate more bodies for you. Search out like Citadel and Fortress, and then you can just use special summon Fortress just by ditching Citadel, and you still like have Citadel and Grave ready to summon when you do your Scrap Wyvern play. So I think, you know, this is just a generically good card for the Machina engine if you're gonna do it. Now run the 1 Upstart, the 1 Foolish Burial, the Succession, because we do run the Lib play, because I think the Lib play is pretty strong. We run the Monster Reborn and the Rhoda to search out the Dark Brothers. And then personally, I just don't like losing the back row, so I main at 2 Cosmics. I mean, these 2 could literally be whatever, and it could be 2 extra hand traps, whatever you want. But I just don't like losing the back row or any type of Floodgate or anything, so that's why I mained deck 2. And then we have the 2 returns. I think 2 returns is good. I mean, you could probably even get away with playing 1, but I think 2 is always fine. I haven't really wanted a 3rd. I think 3 is too many, because it can get kind of cloggy because it's only once per turn, but I think 2 is the right number for the deck. And then we run the 1 Babel. And then personally, I run 2 Dark Ruler No Mores. Like I said, this and like the Cosmics could literally be in any other card you want. Like, could be like the 3rd tuning. It could be like more hand traps, you can do whatever. Like personally, these will be replaced with Forbidden Droplets once I get my hands on it, because I think Forbidden Droplets basically does what this does and then some. You not only do you fill your graveyard, you can still deal damage to your opponent. But for right now, like the Dark Ruler No Mores, I think is just a power play for going first, and you can still set it and pop it for Scrap Wyvern. Forbidden Droplets, I mean, would be basically does what this card does and then some. But until now, we're just running Dark Rulers. So then lastly, we have the Crescendo. Just one. Don't really need more than one, in my opinion. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. Like I said, 60 cards. Now we're gonna get into the extra deck. So extra deck, we're running your standard cards: 2 Galatea, 2 Dingirsu, and the 1 Long Girsu. I think, obviously this has kind of become the normal for running cards in normal cards that for your Orcust extra deck. These are main ones. I mean, some people may run 3 Galatea, but I never have missed the third, because I feel like if you need that third Galatea, chances are like you're in a really bad like grind game and you're already gonna run out of resources, or either you're in a losing battle. So I think 2's plenty. Hello Links, we run the Link Rebo for the Girsu play. Not only that, you can get Jet Synchron in the grave, get your Brassman Bard in the grave. Link Rebo is just pretty good. Masquerena, obvious Masquerena plays. Masquerena lib is pretty strong, because you can lib into like Appaloosa, lib in a Unicorn. It's pretty strong. You not only spend 1, spend 2. Well, during the gates, we got the Union Carrier. Union Carrier is just good. You can do the Buster Lock. You can even like set up for like next turn, equip a Nightmare, do things like that. It's pretty strong. I enjoy it. It's very versatile. We got the Hecafibrax. Like I said, Jet Synchron in itself can be at least Galatea Crescendo. So just running that and having that option as a player, like, it's like at the bare minimum, that's like what you can put up, and that's just like literally off of just Jet Synchron. So, and then we run the Scrap Wyvern, which I think is, if you're gonna run the Scrap Engine, you're gonna run the Wyvern play, which is like pretty strong, especially going second and break boards like Dark Ruler plus the Scrap Recycler. You can like pop everything. Then I run Trisbania just because like I just think Trisbania. I mean, this could be Zeraboros. I don't know. Personally, Zeraboros, I haven't ever really gone into it, but with the new way it's worded, might make it a little better. But for right now, I'm running Trisbania just because you can kind of blow Eldritch out of the water with the card. But I mean, Zeraboros is just as strong. Like I said, it could literally be Zeraboros, but personally, right now, I'm running Trisbania just because I have a personal vendetta against back row. And then lastly, the Link 4s, we had Access Code and Appaloosa. Like I said, Access Code is just inherently strong, because if you do the scrap combo, you're gonna like be able to like get to Access Code on the following turn, like your turn 2, technically turn 3, and then you'll be able to pop at least 3 cards, and then swing for like a lot of damage. And Appaloosa, there are times where I've actually like used Appaloosa to make Access Code, and Access Code gains 4K. Like there's like plenty of things you can do. Access Code is very versatile. I think it definitely replaces Broadsword in this sense. Yeah, that's kind of it for the extra deck. Side deck is, personal preference, is whatever you want to run. Like, I've been messing around with a few things, but just for the sake of video, I guess I'll show you my side deck. But like I said, side deck is very, catered to what you're going to play against, what you feel like you're going to play against. But I got 1 red reboot, just a good one of. I got 1 Lancia, the 3rd Dark Ruler. Like I said, this would be replaced with Forbidden Droplets whenever I get it. The 2 extra Nibiru, because, I mean, honestly, these could be Ghost Ogres, because, like, one of these could be like the second Ghost Ogre, but for now, they're just Nibirus. But, we have the Pinkertops. Pinkertops is just a good one of, like, it's a free summon. Just going second, and then we got the 2 Phantasme. You could even main deck the Phantasme, but I don't like main decking Phantasme because, you know, I do run permanents, so they do kind of conflict. And I would prefer to side Phantasme. Then we got two Evenlies. Evenly's kind of self-explanatory. D-Barrier. D-Barrier is just, like, mostly, like, there because, like, believe it or not, like, if you, like, D-Barrier, like, Rock or, like, you know, Synchro Elage, like, the best board, like, literally just becomes, like Synchro Elage, like, I don't even think they run any, like, Synchro, like, any other links that, like, aren't, like, Auroradon and, like, Needle Fiber, so, like, I mean, they may run Appaloosa. I don't even know if they do or not. I'm not, like, super familiar with that. And, like, but I know Rock, their best, like, board becomes, like, Appaloosa Pass if you call it Synchro. So, like, it's actually fairly good. And this deck can easily play through an Appaloosa. And then, lastly, something I've been kind of testing is just, like some going first options. Because, like, my side deck doesn't really have many going first options. So, I, like, put in 3 deck lockdown. This card's actually pretty good. Like, you just do your full combo, slap this on the board, and they can't, you know, search or do anything like that. So, that's the deck profile. You know, if you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Have any suggestions, you know, don't forget to leave it in the comments. But, yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.